there is a book, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. It is hidden somewhere in this world. Within the pages of this book are descriptions of all kinds of things beyond your belief, demon resurrection passages. The problem with this book's existence in our world is that it was never meant for the world of the living. The Evil Dead is a horror movie from the year 1981, starring Bruce Campbell, and it was directed by Sam Raimi. The story focuses on a couple of young adults who want to have themselves a good time in a cabin in the woods. However, they find a book, the former mentioned Necronomicon Ex Mortis, which unleashes an ancient evil. That evil is now killing and raping and possessing the group members one by one, until at last only Ash, one of the rather lesser braver members of the group, is left. And now he's gotta fend off this evil, maybe destroy it, that is, if he survives. You know, one thing that always kind of bothered me, how on earth do the actual owners of such cursed cabins and such advertise, these cabins? What would an advertisement for a cursed cabin in the woods look like? Hey you, yes you, the early 20-something middle-class dude or chick, you want a party in the middle of nowhere? Yes? Well, then I got the deal for you. Placed in the lovely The Fuck Am I woods, 500 miles west of the this is supposed to be a town, Will? Call 555 not cursed 666 213 and rent the cabin for $10 a week. Demons, zombies, cannibals, or inbred demon zombie cannibals might possibly slaughter the fuck out of your party. By renting the cabin, you automatically agree not to sue the owner over possible physical or mental scars. Rent now! The Evil Dead does not only mark Sam Raimi's feature film directing debut, but also Bruce Campbell's feature film acting debut. The movie gained critical acclaim due to its revolutionary camera work and fascinatingly practical use of a low budget. Not to mention the deep message buried within the tree rape scene, the message about the human condition, which was subtly hidden within this tree rape scene. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. This movie was and is kinda still mostly known for its gore, for its blood, for its guts. Hell, it was, according to a lot of movie critics, including the Honorable Mark Kermit, one of the most notorious video nasties of its time. Video nasties were basically, pretty fucked up movies, or movies that tried to be as fucked up as possible, which were mostly released on video due to financial reasons. Add to that it was released in cinemas and on video at the very same time, and the fact that it was a small budgeted independent movie directed by a 20-year-old, and you got yourself one of the most improbable movie classics of all time. Well, to be honest, the movie wasn't too big a hit at first. It had a budget of approximately $60,000, and it made approximately on its opening weekend $100,000. However, over time and through mouth-to-ear propaganda, the movie managed to make $600,000 in the US. And that led to it being approximately around the time of 1983-1984, being shipped out over the Great Ocean towards Europe. And over here in Europe, it actually managed to make $2 million. So, that is that. At the end, it got a box office result of $2,600,000. Although it received praise from Stephen King, Richard Cook, Kim Newman, the latter ones actually comparing The Evil Dead with the surrealistic works of French director Jean Cocteau, who was or is mostly known for Blood of a Poet and his version of The Beauty and the Beast called La Belle et la Bête. Despite the praise, it still was treated more like a cheap slasher, meaning that lots of cuts were made. However, nowadays you won't have that big a problem to just get yourself an uncut copy. I got my copy from an HMV, so yeah, it ain't that hard. Now let's really talk about the gore, or rather my opinion on the gore. And the special effects. Well, it is still a really disturbing movie gore-wise. There is pretty much a lot of gore, but from time to time it's kind of silly, but really most of the time it works the way it's supposed to. But to me it's fully understandable as to why people have been somewhat disgusted by it, although compared to nowadays certain gore bits and movies, something like Serbian film is definitely, it definitely upped the ante, you could say. Yeah, it seems kind of harmless compared to nowadays, but back then it was definitely a few steps too far for some people. Now, if you came for the blood, you still gotta get blood. Take this scene for example. Or how about something that looks more painful? Jesus. But really, this movie is not only gory, scary and creative, but to me it's also inspiring. Seeing someone doing this much with a budget this small goes to show just what Sam Raimi is capable of doing. My favorite scene includes the mirror scene. There's also this amazing stop motion monster meltdown towards the end of the movie, or as well as the group's arrival, which doesn't really contain too much special effects, but you got this neat little tracking thing going on without too much of professional equipment. The whole movie looks very major studio-esque, meaning that if I didn't know any better, I would say that a major studio produced it back in 1981. Someone like 20th Century Fox or Paramount or whatever the fuck. And yeah, it just looks like it was made by a major studio. But it wasn't. It was basically a relatively small independent project, making it the more fascinating in my opinion. But, well, it just looks, sounds and feels good. Speaking of sound, this movie got an awesome score, and sound design wise it just shines like a goddamn diamond. Not just that, it uses sound in other creative ways, like, for example, take this one. That's just eerie. The Evil Dead made $2,600,000 worldwide, unsurprisingly spawning 2 successful sequels. And it wouldn't be the last trilogy directed by Sam Raimi. My verdict: The Evil Dead is a masterpiece of horror slasher low-budget filmmaking. It also is the perfect first act of Sam Raimi's epic Evil Dead trilogy. The Evil Dead gets from me a 5 out of 5. The movie really shines towards the last act of the film. You can really feel how terrified Ash is as the last one standing. Every screeching door, every breeze of wind, every drip of water seems to be indicative of the presence of something demonic, ruthless, ready to strike at any time possible. But don't worry, dear viewer, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis isn't real, and neither are its demons. But say, what's that face doing behind you? What's it looking at? Oh, it was probably nothing. Nothing to be afraid of. For there is no time left to be afraid anymore. Good night and good luck, for you will need it.